Hello, friends. I've got a interesting pick a card for you guys today. We missed out on our Virgo pick new moon pick a card, and I was really just feeling like we needed something to kind of carry us throughout the entirety of the Virgo season, and which to me is a time of getting your shit together. So that is the theme for the readings today. Hopefully, you will find some helpful advice and exercises, techniques, things to do to help you get your shit together. But honestly, all three of these readings had something to do about coming back to yourself, reconnecting to yourself and your original, unique, authentic energy. And so all three of these have different ways of doing that. So if you feel called to one, two, or three, I would like for you to select that reading first. But if you're feeling called to the other ones, like I said, all of these have ways to come back to yourself. So if you're feeling drawn to more than one, please listen to more than one and let me know in the comments which one you chose. Our first group here is the Song of the Seal Woman. I'm really having trouble with lighting today. I apologize that we've got these beautiful seal and mermaid ladies on here. And this Presley Bluestone also goes with group number one. So if you feel called to either the crystal or I'm just now noticing that the crystal kind of looks like the skin of the seal here. So that's really cool. I just noticed that. I didn't notice it during the reading itself. So group number two is the House of Yaga, and this sunstone obelisk. You know it's an obelisk because it has a square bottom. A a generator is going to have six sides. This only has four sides. Anyways, I don't know why that is significant, but we've got this sunstone generator here for number two with the House of the Yaga, and group number three has this beautiful uh, garnet piece here and the card Hag of the Oak Grove. So please take your time to select whichever one calls out to you. And I want to thank you so much for being here. If you'd like a personal or private reading, those are available on my website, priestessofwonderland.com. And I also have a Ko-fi shop where you can get monthly readings or weekly cards, and that is more individualized and personal for you. So thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment so that more people like you can find my channel. Thank you so much again for being here. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, group one. If you chose the Songs of Seal Women card and the Presley Bluestone, then this reading is for you with advice on how to get your shit together. So, first of all, I want to mention this folklore about the seal woman or the Selkie woman. Um, is a story kind of similar to The Little Mermaid. I know most people are familiar with that, but this seal woman or Selkie falls in love with a human, and so she decides to give up her skin, which is her mermaid form or her seal form, her Selkie form, and because she falls in love with this human and wants to live with him. And it goes further than the Little Mermaid story. Like they live together, they have a family together, they have like a long life together, but she has found that she has totally like lost herself from dedicating her life to this man, this human man and the family, and she has her skin hidden and like her true form hidden. And I can't remember exactly. I think there's a bunch of different versions of it, but I think he like does something to it or like threatens to throw it away and like keep her so which would keep her there forever or something. I don't know. So she has to make a choice. I think there's like two different versions. Either she chooses to stay with this person or she chooses her true form and goes back to the ocean. I can't remember. I think there's just different versions, different endings, different tellings of it. And so the message that I'm initially getting before we get into the other cards here is that like you have kind of lost yourself in others, whether that is because you are in the service industry or you're just one of those people that everybody goes to, you're always helping people out. Um, or maybe it's just the mask that you have to wear to go throughout your day. Like we all have these masks and these different hats that we wear throughout the day. We've got the mom hat and the career hat, and we often rarely find time for the like authentic hat, the authentic skin, the real version of who we are. And I think that those of you that were attracted to this group may be feeling like you're kind of disconnected from yourself or disconnected from spirit. And so the most important thing that you guys need to do is to find a way to come back to yourself. And the message that I was getting with that is to like have a space within your home to that's like totally yours. Like nobody else's stuff is in this space, like, and I mean like energetically and physically, like nobody else is allowed in this space to deposit their energy. They know to leave you alone when you're in this space, and it only has items that are like you feel represent you. And I mean like don't put things that like other people gave you. Pick things that like items that you love, like your favorite chair, your favorite crystal. Have things that like make you happy and make you come back to yourself. Maybe like a little basket filled with cross stitching or some sort of craft that you like working on, or your favorite book or your journal, and like have a little basket with all of your things that are right there so that you can be in this space and not have to get up and go get it. I was also getting the sense that like maybe you don't have that a space like that right now. Maybe you don't have your own space within your home, but there's certainly ways that you can work around that and make whatever space that like you're sleeping, even if that's like I don't know why I was getting like the message that like if you're like sleeping on someone's couch temporarily. um I sometimes have to do that when I'm house sitting, and I always bring my own set of sheets and blanket and pillow. And so like when I go over to their house, like there's this little like it's almost like I by draping those sheets and that fabric over I usually sleep on the couch if I'm if I'm house sitting at this one particular house that I'm thinking of. And there are people that I'm really close to, so I had to start doing this because I found that being in their space had me too enveloped in their energy. So by like placing this sheet over their couch, it was like creating this space that was like totally mine. And I also like I bring crystals with me and have this like it's totally like my space, and that's like my sanctuary, and that's where I can sit to escape from being overwhelmed by their energy. Especially when I knew that they were like going through very like really low times and really difficult times in their life. It was like this was my space that I could sit and retreat to and not be so overwhelmed with that energy. But even if even if you're this isn't even if you're not sleeping on couch surfing on somebody's couch, um, there like the space that you sleep can be wholly yours and your energy alone. So make sure you're using like your sheets, your pillows to sleep in this space. And also a nightstand or whatever table is next to the space that you sleep can make a really nice altar and have it be again your favorite things like your journal, your crafts that you work on, the favorite whatever book you're reading, crystals, a candle, like whatever it is, something that like makes you feel safe and protected and like just totally your energy. Like if you are living with other people, you know, it's a conglomeration of all of your different energies and so having one particular space that is just yours and doesn't have anybody else's things or anybody else's energy is like really significant for you guys here. I chose Presley Bluestone as the stone to work with if you can find some or if you have some because it is very much it helps you create a sacred space like just working with its energy you can feel like this protective barrier come up and it's just it like I don't know it just like creates almost like this imaginary bubble around you it feels like it's also the same stone that um Stonehenge is made out of so it feels like I don't know, just envisioning those huge stones and just like laying out this table in this space to be like it like helps you create space to do magic and do spiritual work, but I also feel like it's just necessary for this group to like be it just like I don't know, it just like clears the slate. I'm just seeing this like blank table from which to work on and that feels like really like very much needed for this group. Okay, so I've talked enough about this stuff. Let's jump into the other cards here. So we have meditation for peace and serenity, earth magic, and this again made me choose the Presley blue stone and strength and resilience. So whatever it is that I have so many different messages. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, like you need a space to retreat to. You need to be able to recharge, to disconnect from other people's energy, and to like fill yourself back up with your own energy. The strength and resilience card just makes it, both of these have these stone tables. So you might need to create an altar. Maybe you need to create an altar to yourself. Like this is my energy. This is this is my like you don't have to put like any deities or anything on there. Maybe this is just put an image of yourself on there. Your most authentic self. Find a picture of yourself where you felt the most happy and when you felt the most whole and have it be like a shrine to you and to reconnecting to that and trying to find that space again. And the meditation for peace and serenity, this card made me think of like you know how like quiet and calm like being underwater is? And it made me think of I recently discovered I'm like so new to this. I don't even know like if I'm pronouncing it correctly or what the heck, but like um DLC cut downloadable content. I saw that like you can there's these little like lo-fi digital spaces that you can create. I think the one in particular that just came out was like a train, so it had like that calming sound of the train in the background, and you could decorate it however you wanted. So if you're not able to physically create a space that is totally yours, there are ways to do it digitally online. Or you know, you can collage digitally, like look through home magazines and actually physically collage and decorate a room and sacred space that's totally your own. But the thing that reminded me of that was that one of the sounds on the DLC thing was an underwater sound and it was just so soothing. I was watching a streamer demonstrate it and they were flipping through the sounds, and this underwater sound sounded just so peaceful and calm and quiet. It was so beautiful. So that made me think of that. Like if you don't have a space that you feel like you can dedicate wholly to yourself and nobody else's because you live with other people or whatever, doing something digitally or, making like a vision board of like what would your dream space look like. Also, another thing that I do is I create liminal spaces. I call them liminal spaces, but they're like I envision these spaces. I actually have an entire island. So it has multiple multiple homes and spaces. There's a castle, there's like a little cottage, there's a beach sanctuary. There's all these different spaces where I can retreat to and go within a meditative space or a liminal space. So again, if you feel like you don't have a physical space, I think there is a great need for those of you that selected this pile because we have two earth cards here. So we need a physical space, but if you're not able to create a physical space, certainly do one digitally or through visualization and meditation and create your own space within. So our two fairy godmother cards here are rejection and companionship. So this card made me think, and the resilience card made me think that maybe you have gone through a difficult time where you're having to like move and find a new home, find a new space. Maybe you've separated from a partner, or there. It just seems like there is some sort of place from which you feel. Actually, I want to read the message from rejection wrecks your self-esteem. To belong is what you dream. Fingers pointing, friend or foe, stay amongst those whom you know and trust. And trust, connect with how you feel, lick your wounds you need to heal. So if this isn't like a person that you're feeling rejected from, it could be like some sort of situation, or you were working on something and it didn't work out, some sort of creative project, it didn't work out how you wanted to. So rejection from past situations has activated the self-destruct switch. How often have you responded to romantic or friendship rejection by finding fault with yourself instead of searching for the real truth of the matter? The disconnection that you have experienced has caused great pain, which affects your outward behavior in response to others. Take back the power that was stripped from you by the words and actions of others and reclaim your true self. So, what if some judge you, criticize, or make fun of who you are and what you stand for? Who are they to decide what is acceptable? In fact, I shall let you in on a little secret that should help you to overcome the fear of such treatment. They are actually very insecure themselves. They are scared of anything that is not what they deem normal, socially acceptable, or to their own self-perceived standards. Of course, their opinions are all absolute nonsense, for these people are clouded by their own judgments. They mask their own fears by projecting them onto you. This is done in hope that others, including you, won't notice their flaws and faults, but instead see them in you. There. How do you feel about that? It's not fair, but nevertheless, you now have the knowledge which will give you the confidence to ignore this psychological game playing. Allow me to soothe the emotional wounds that have been inflicted upon you and release your need to belong. Throughout the ages, those who are talented, gifted, and different from the norm were persecuted, ridiculed, and rejected in many forms. So I urge you to stand tall and be proud of who you are, for I, your fairy godmother, am very proud of you indeed. Now, so this other card speaks to animal companionship, but I was really getting a spirit guide vibe. This card speaks to like noticing the animal communication, like if you're seeing butterflies everywhere, you see deer everywhere, to pay attention to those signs, and I feel like it's just a reminder that you're not alone, like isolating yourself and recharging and reconnecting doesn't have to be forever, and it doesn't have to mean that you are going to be alone forever either. I think that there are spirit guides and spirit team and angels that want to help you heal from whatever this this big change was for you. And you need this quiet, peaceful sanctuary space from which to do that. So I'm filming this around the Virgo in the within the Virgo moon cycle, and it's a perfect time of year to totally revamp your space, like clean out your closets, clean out the clutter, clean out the things that don't make you happy, that don't bring you joy. Marie Kondo your whole house. Like if you pick up an object and it stresses you out, get rid of it. Donate it to donate it to a charity, donate it to a thrift store. There you need to like clear out your space, clear out the clutter because you're carrying around too much that isn't yours and too much that isn't serving you just because like we keep things just because like we feel like, oh well, somebody gave this to me, it's sentimental, or um we are afraid to get rid of things because we're afraid that like we're not going to be able to replace it again. You need to come back to yourself. I feel like I had one more card. Where is it? Oh, so inspired visioning. When you perceive the world with depth and clarity, you empower your imagination. When you fuel your imagination, you are able to visualize and manifest what you desire. You have inside of you everything that you need to live deeply into your highest potential and soul's greatest calling. Let go of fear and anxiety and ask yourself what a good next step would be. Begin today with a small gesture in the direction of your dreams, knowing that it is guided by Source. This again made me think of the power of visualization. Like, if you create this perfect sacred space within your mind by envisioning it, I think that you are more likely to create this space for yourself. So maybe envisioning a dream home, a dream room, a dream bedroom with your altar next to your bed. I don't know, like that there's something to creating this sacred space so that you can be open to what is to come next. Maybe you're feeling stuck or lost. Um, Coming back to yourself, creating your own personal sanctuary and sacred space is going to help you find clarity to figure out what it is that you need to do next. Get yourself some Presley Bluestone too, if you feel like that will help you connect to your sacred space, help you create the sacred space. Just holding it, you can just feel this like protective barrier around you, and you can just call your energy back to yourself, let go and release anybody else's energy that might be stuck to you, any energy that is yours, but you've been carrying around and it's not serving you anymore, letting go of that and asking this Presley Bluestone to just give you the space to let go of these things and to call back and reintegrate your own energy. So I hope that those of you that chose this group, are able to create your own personal sanctuary. Let me know in the comments what your dream space looks like, and so that I know that you chose group number 1. And as always, please like and subscribe, and it really helps bring other people like you to my channel. So thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, group 2. If you chose the House of Yaga and this beautiful sunstone obelisk, then this is your reading on what you need to do to get yo shit together. So the first thing, like there, well, first of all, I want to put these little hearts here too. I know they weren't part of the significators, but I just really want these these hearts here. You'll see why in a minute when I pull some other cards. But so like there's a whole meaning behind this card. I'm getting kind of a different message than the card says, but the card description talks about being homesick for the House of Yaga and feeling this the feeling that I'm getting is like wanting to retreat to grandmother's house for the weekend or for the summer or whatever. It there I don't even know how to say this. Like This group needs to like remember what needs to do like inner child work, needs to do something playful, joyful, let somebody else take care of you. Like I feel like this need to just like crawl into your grandmother's lap and let her hold you and let her like rock you and sing you to sleep and like tuck you in at night. And there's just such a different energy from like mother energy versus grandmother energy. Like grandmother energy, yes, mother energy is unconditional, but grandmother energy is just like all of the sweetness that life has to offer because you're just like so held and so taken care of, but you're also encouraged to have fun. Like mother energy is going to have a little bit of tough love in there because like they're going to tell you to like eat your vegetables and go to school and finish your homework and go to bed early or whatever. But grandmother energy is like staying up late and having ice cream for dinner and just like fun, playful, silly. Um, I think some of you might be encouraged to like remember a time when you went to stay with your grandmother. My grandmother lived at the beach, so it was like going to grandma's house was just like, oh my God, so fun. We had, um, I guess I don't, it's crazy. Like me and my cousin would like sneak out at night. And when I say sneak out at night, I don't mean like midnight or something. I think it would be like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and we would walk down to the general store and barefoot, and we'd knock on the window because we knew the owner. We knew the owner art, and we'd knock on the window and we'd say, "Mr. Farley, can we have some ice cream?" And he would open the little ice cream window and like give us some ice cream. I don't know why. Like he was always like watching TV on this little like cube of a TV. I don't know if he was like watching a game, like a football game or baseball game or something. I don't know, but I'm just like, gosh, going to grandma's house was so fun. And then we would walk back to my grandmother's house on the beach and like the moon would be out and it would just be so magical and it was so fun. And I remember remember my cousin was older than me, so she would meet up with boys and she'd come back giggling like, "Oh my gosh, they kissed me on the cheek." And it was just so fun. My mouth is or my jaw is hurting from like smiling just thinking of that time, and like I have tears in my eyes just thinking of that time and how fun it was to just be a kid and to just like have not a care in the world. Like looking back on it now, I'm like, who the hell was letting us like sneak out? Like my grandmother was supposed to be watching us, but she would go to bed at like 7. And we would just I remember we would also like stay up late and cook grilled cheeses with she always had Velveeta cheese in the refrigerator, and we'd make like the meltiest grilled cheeses ever. So anyways, that is the message of or the energy of this reading is just like that silly child, like not a care in the world kind of energy. How is that supposed to help you get your shit together? Because when you let yourself be happy, other things will start to fall into place. But let's jump into your other cards here. What did I do with them? Jeez, I'm so disorganized with this reading for some reason. Okay, so we've got and rebirth and reinvention. We have joy and delight, and we have accept love. So all three of these cards, this is why I wanted the little hearts here because of this card here. Um gosh, all three of these cards, I'm instantly like not even looking at like any of this. I'm looking at the dolphins jumping in the background there. I'm looking at the sunset on the ocean. I'm looking at this girl doing a cartwheel. I'm looking at these animals running around and playing. Animals just know how to play. Dolphins know how to play. Animals know how to play. There's another animal here. And just like this made me think of like when you're a kid and you make potions out of like you get a bowl of water from the hose or a bucket of water from the hose and you throw some grass clippings in there and some dirt and leaves and you're like making this magical potion. That's what this card made me think of here. So you guys just need to play and have fun. And I know you're sitting there thinking like, I don't have time. I've got work and I'm too busy. And then when I get home, I gotta clean the house and I gotta cook dinner and then I gotta get the kids ready for school and I gotta get them ready for bed. And I'm hearing like you're just like, I don't have time to have fun. But you need to make time to have fun. I know you came to this reading like thinking that I was gonna give you some like specific protocol for like some to-do list to get your shit together and you just have to go out and play and have fun. Our other cards here are encouragement. Look, and this card made me think of like I mean this whole deck is like fairy tale fantasy oriented, but this made me think of dress up like dressing up in a pretty princess dress with like some fairy wings. And our other card here is perception. And I was told that I needed to focus on the reflection in there is like this old lady, but like she's actually this like young, beautiful spirit. Even if you feel like you're old on the outside and when you look in the mirror, you think, oh, look, I'm getting wrinkles and I'm getting old and I'm not as pretty as I used to be. You are still that young, youthful, joyful kid that wants to make little potions in the backyard. So our fairy godmother says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, reflect the truth and show me all. The critic rules inside your head. Lies and scorn are how it's fed. With words of positivity, starve it out and you'll be free. When you gaze into a mirror, who is looking back at you? I bid you be truly honest with yourself at this time. Beauty is the eye of the beholder. So what can't you see that others can? Your perception of who you are is warped indeed, for no longer can you see a wonderful being. No, instead, all you see are fault, guilt, worries, and shame staring you blatantly in the face. Is this the true creation of who you are? Of course not. You have become shrouded in a world painted by other people's negative comments, blames, and projections. Sadly, you have come to believe these lies which have built up within your mind. Instead of seeing the true aspect of yourself and feeling wonderful, you have chosen to become who you really are not. And this is how most others now perceive you to be. Even though you have been showered with compliments and praise, you only listen to the negative aspects that have stemmed from jealousy, anger, and control. So look again, if you will, and open wide your eyes. Acknowledge the magnificence of you, of what you stand for, and how far you have come. You're a marvel. Did you know that there is no one like you throughout the entire universe? You were brought forth into this world specifically for your talents, your passions, and the ray of energy that is unique to you. Without the gift of you, this planet would not tick, and now begs you to take ownership of who you are in every way and do what you came here to do. Be proud of who you are, for the moment you change your perception of who you are, so too will everyone else. Time to look through the eyes of your soul and not through the lies of the inner critic. So, in order to get back to yourself, and if you were feeling called to group one, that was very much a message of getting back to yourself as well, but just in a very different way. So if you are needing that like Virgo to-do list, the first group kind of had a little bit more instruction on things to do. But really, you guys just need to play. You need to have fun. You need to roll around in the grass. You need to jump around in the ocean or in a pool or some body of water before summer ends, and jump around and be silly and playful. Get out a coloring book and color. Get out a little potion bottle and make yourself a little joyful energy spray. If I were to make like a happy spray, and I'd use like citruses are very uplifting and positive, bergamot, orange, lemon, and whenever you're feeling down or low, shake this up and make some sort of magical enchantment and spray yourself and say negative energy be gone, positive energy stay. I don't know, make up some silly little incantation that is going to chase your blues away. And let that little child within play. Get yourself a little stuffed animal to play with or to hug when you're feeling down. There you need do something silly and playful. Buy yourself a toy that you always wanted when you were little. Watch your favorite kids movie. Something that's going to tap into that little kid's energy. Journal about a time that you went and stayed with at your grandmother's house. I chose sunstone because it is very uplifting. If I had some ocean jasper, I would recommend that because that's supposed to be a really joyful stone. Now I'm feeling like this isn't even sunstone. I'm feeling like this is orchid calcite. Is it? Now I don't know. It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you want it to be. Both of them have orange calcite in it anyway, so orange calcite is sacral chakra activating, so stimulating your sexuality and your creative energy. You guys need to play and have fun. Do it. Do it. Spirit orders. If you resonated with this reading, please leave a comment and let me know what your favorite childhood thing to do was that just made you fill up with so much joy and laughter and hope and happiness. Or leave some heart emojis, making yourself a joyful love potion. And please, as always, like and subscribe so that this video will reach more people just like you that want to hear this message and need to experience some childlike joy. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon. Hello, Group 3. If you chose the Hag of the Oak Grove card and this beautiful piece of garnet, then this is your reading for how to get your shit together. And basically, I feel like all I could say to this group is touch grass. The end. The end of your reading. This group needs to get outside in nature. And the Hag of the Oak Grove has her back up against an oak tree. Think of an oak tree. Think how strong and sturdy and solid and grounded an oak tree is. Like, oak trees are so solid that, like, often if they fall over, they pull their roots up with them and go down. It's never like a crack, like a crack in the tree, or like it's always like they get uprooted and fall over. It's usually from like too much rain, so the ground is soft and they just tip over because they're so heavy, they're so strong, they're so sturdy. And there is a need for this group to maybe use that visualization of like having your back up against the trunk of a tree and feeling your own roots go deep down into the earth. I'm also really called to this light that she is holding in the center. And I feel like the light has changed all of a sudden. And I don't know why it got like so washed out all of a sudden. Hmm. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's a synchronicity. Maybe that's a need to shine your light, to have this inner glow. Connecting to the earth, getting grounded and rooted is significant for this group to shine. Now I feel like I made it worse. So I chose this garnet because garnet gently brings you down to the ground. And man, I love this garnet so much. I was so sad when it broke. It was this beautiful, like perfectly sized palm stone. And but we are still using it today because we love things. Even if they are broken, we still love them. So I encourage you to get some garnet. It's so gently grounding, and it's also very heart healing. I think a lot of the times when we try to escape, when we get disconnected and we dissociate, it's a lot of times it is because we're feeling overwhelmed emotionally, our heart hurts. So we try to escape that feeling. We try to run away from the things that hurt us. So that is why I chose garnet for this group here. And our other cards are inspiration and courage. And I couldn't get over the colors are the same in this. I feel like this little light that she's holding could easily be these lights swirling around up here. She's also got her hands on her heart. There's another additional light here in the crystal ball. I couldn't get over the similarities to these two cards here. And we also have affirmation for acceptance. Gosh, it's really bothering me that the camera and lighting is all weird now. Connect with Gaia. Look at this, another oak tree. And look, the roots are visible. She's got like these, it's roots that are growing up around her ankles, but it almost looks like lightning bolts, just like electrifying her, empowering her, recharging her light, recharging. Oh, they look kind of similar too. The two women here. So again, this is why I was just like, oh my God, when I pulled this card, I was like, y'all just need to go outside and touch a tree. Will you put your feet on the ground and touch a tree, please? When this card comes up a lot out of this deck, and it's about surrendering and accepting fate. She's reading a book that says fate on it, and there's this cyclone tornado around her, dark clouds, and it's about being the calm in within the storm, letting everything swirl around you, but finding your inner peace, finding your inner light, protecting it, keeping it safe, and knowing that you're not going to be affected by this storm because you are rooted and grounded like this oak tree. If this oak tree is going over, he's pulling up all that earth with him, and you're not going over. Like you might feel like you're being swirled around in this storm, but you're being asked to just trust that all of this chaos surrounding you is bringing you to where you're supposed to be. So again, in order for you guys to get your shit together, you need to get grounded and rooted. You need to do some sort of grounding practice every single day. Put your hand on your heart. Sit on the earth, preferably outside, but you can do this anywhere. And just take 3 big, deep breaths and feel the breath within your body. Feel your bottom connected to the earth. Feel your roots and your energy reaching down into the earth and recharging, like reconnecting like a battery. We also have authenticity. All of these readings kind of have very similar messages of coming back to the self. We have been disconnected and distracted, specifically this group. I mean, okay, this other card, I just have to. Mother Nature. You've got 3 grounding, earthing, need to connect to nature cards in this reading. So that is why I feel like I could have said touch grass, the end of reading. The end. That is all. But let's read this fairy godmother message of the Mother Nature card. So, child of nature, hear the call. Switch off the TV, forget the mall. Buzz of bee, croak of toad, nature heals your heavy load. Walk or swim, run and hide, time to go and play outside. The natural world is calling to you. If you listen carefully, you will hear its messages coming to you through the rustle of leaves on the trees, the caw of the crow, and the babble of the brook. We've got crows here too, and the rustling of the trees. But of course, you will have to venture outside and get into nature first. This I encourage you to do so much, much more, as it will naturally revive your spirit, revive your light, and remind you of who you really are authentically. For you are a child of nature who naturally hears the whispers of spirit through the breeze, who welcomes the rains, glorifies in the heat of the sun, and connects with the nourishment of the earth. Embrace each season, rejoice at every new bud during the first stirrings of spring, the harvest abundance that summer supplies, the falling leaves of autumn, and the deep dark mystery that accompanies the winter months. Let's take a walk together through the forests, meadows, and parks until your heart sings once more at the mere notion of the magic of nature. Let's reawaken the affinity you have with the ways of natural healing, as well as your belief in another world of mystical beings, a shining world within our own of fairy elementals, rock spirits, crystal spirits, guardians of the lakes, streams, and oceans, spirits of the forest, meadows, and mountains, all supporting the ways of nature through their natural workings of miracles and magic. The Celtic ancestors and other indigenous peoples lived their lives trusting in, recognizing, and interacting with the spirits of the land, living in accordance to the magical law of nature. It is time to step up and take responsibility for the guardianship of the natural world around you and this beloved planet as a whole. Touch grass, group 3. Touch grass. Get you some crystal friends and crystal allies that remember any crystal, even though this selenite is going to connect you to your crown chakra, your soul star chakra. It's a light crystal, so upper chakra. It's still going to help ground you. Any crystal, every crystal comes from the earth. So you can get some garnet. I would really, truly recommend garnet for this group, but any crystal you can work with. Most people have at least a selenite, or at least some clear quartz or something. Any stone is going to connect you to the earth, because all of the crystals were born or created deep, deep, deep within the earth. So group 3, please, 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 please go outside and put your bare feet on the ground, put your toes in the sand, put your feet on the grass, lean your back up against a tree. And if you can't do that, if you live in a high-rise apartment and you don't have any outdoor space, do some visualization, meditation work, rooting yourself into the ground, envisioning that you are you have your back up against this tree, and breathe your roots deep into the earth. Ask Mother Earth to support you, to take all of your fears and worries if you are in the middle of some sort of chaotic situation, which, I mean, who isn't, right? I mean, we all are living on this crazy, crazy world. This crazy rock that's spinning through outer space. We're all experiencing chaos and trouble. We need to reconnect, get grounded and rooted, and to find your light again, to remember who you are. I was also really drawn to these two. We've got 2 witches' brooms here. Maybe you need to, oh look, I have one right here. Maybe you need to sweep out some negative energy with a witch's broom, and reconnect to your own energy, reconnect to your personal energy, clear out the clutter, clear out the craziness. This is the time of year. This isn't, everybody talks about spring cleaning, but fall cleaning is the time to do it. Um, so anyways, group 3, go outside and touch grass. I believe that you can do it. I believe that your light is just going to like shine so freaking bright once you do this. Once you let go, once you let Mother Earth take all of the negative energy away, all the energy that's not serving you, your light is going to shine, and Mother Mother Earth can just take it all. They can just take it all. Thank you so much, group 3. Let me know in the comments. Put a tree emoji in the comments so that I know that you chose group 3, and so that I know that you're going to go outside and touch grass. Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe so that other people like you can find these readings. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon.